be a lighter. Are the real things. My eyes are red. I've been burning. I've been burning. Here's the reason why. My eyes are red. I've been burning. Here's the reason why. My eyes are red. I've been burning. I've been burning. Here's the reason why. My eyes are red. I've been burning. I've been. Here's the reason why. Where I come from, burning weed.
No, actually I wasn't upset at all. I was excited for Sam to get the show. I thought he'd be a great representative of our industry. I can't say that we haven't been in talks with others, and there's potentially a show in our future too, but not confirming or denying any of those rumors at this point. But no, I was stoked for him. I think he did a great job. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing some more seasons of Brewmasters, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, who wouldn't want to drink more of Sam and the rest of the Dogfish crew spit, and honey from Africa, and Bitches Brew, and those types of things. I think it brought a lot of humility and innovation to the industry in a fun way. I love what we do here.
Hey, you're here with the Singlemaltmates, Ryan and Kenan, and we're here with Garrett Marrero of the Maui Brewing Company.
Yep.
Going to talk a little bit today about the great things you're doing out here in Maui with the Maui Brewing Company.
We were wondering, when did you first become passionate about beer?
First passionate about beer, probably, I would say early high school, probably somewhere around 14, 15 years old.
It's legal
was that my
to say
first?
That, right?
I think it was legal in California back then. Nowadays they're much more restrictive. But I was fortunate. I come from a family that's very open-minded, and my grandpa was the head of purchasing at an Oceanographic Institute in San Diego. So the captains of all the ships coming back to port would bring him beer from all around the world, and I got to sample those, which, for me was really good, because prior to that, you always sneak somebody's beer and try it, and it had Miller Lite and MGD Draft and all. It was just disgusting to me. I wondered how people could drink beer. But then trying these beers that were coming in from New Zealand and from Europe and all over the world, these were different. These were something that was not like your everyday beer here in America typically. That just grew into a love for passion for craft beer as I got older. I never really lost that. Once I had a good craft beer, never went back.
What was the first beer though you thought, like, this is actually good? Miller Lite.
It's funny. I don't actually remember the name of it. I can see the can in my head, and it's funny that it's a can too, because here, coming full circle, we're a canning brewery. There's a lot of breweries are out there bottling, but this was a can. It was from New Zealand, and it had a black line at the top, then it was orange in the middle, and then black in the bottom. And what it was a English style bitter. I remember drinking that thinking, like, wow, this is good beer. I can drink this, which was by strong comparison against the other beers that I had tried in the past. So it was a great one. I really do wish I could remember the name, because I'd love to get more of that. But like I said earlier, I had Stone IPA at my high school graduation party. I think it was probably the only one in Poway that had that, so I was very fortunate.
So you don't remember what that beer was?
It was that good.
Was this always your childhood dream to be a brewer, or did you want to be a paleontologist?
Paleontologist? No. When I was a young kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist or oceanographer. Fast forward to middle school, I saw Wall Street, and I wanted to be Gordon Gekko. As I think all of us did at some point. I still can probably quote a lot of scenes from Wall Street, but what former broker can't? And so I pursued that dream, and I ended up becoming my Series 7 and 63 license in 97, and I was just after I turned 18. And then fast forward to 21 when I graduated college, and I'm a broker at Morgan Stanley in San Francisco, and financial consultant. So I never really wanted to do this as work. I just really loved consuming good craft beer. A change in life led me to this. I loved it. It felt like the right decision.
Did you get more women as a consultant, financial consultant, and a broker, or as a brewer?
I think I would probably have the opportunity with a lot more, but I'm married, so I think since I'm married, I tend to not get any attention whatsoever. I'm just kidding. No, I think as a broker, I did well in both work and play.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
What was the first beer that you homebrewed?
First beer I homebrewed was a complete disaster. It actually tasted pretty good, but it was a disaster in that it ended up all over the kitchen floor. It was one of those beer in a bag brew kits that you got at like a Sharper Image or some Cost Plus or something like that, where you basically had to boil water, temper it, and then put it in the bag and let it ferment. I didn't pay much attention to the instructions, so I ended up putting it into a confined space that when it expanded due to fermentation, which was, I was not really aware of the whole fermentation science at that point, because I was 16 just trying to brew beer to drink because I couldn't go buy it. It fermented and then exhausted out the pressure relief valve all the way through, all over the kitchen floor, and my mom came home and found that and was very, very upset. But we still had that beer, that little leftover that didn't go out the pressure relief, and my friends and I enjoyed the hell out of that one. Very limited experience with home brewing otherwise. I actually homebrew more now than I ever did before. I think the main thing to take away from that is that my love for craft beer is what drove me into the business, not a passion for home brewing. I love the end product. I love the creativity and the innovation and the just basic full flavored complexity that came in craft. And that's where my passion was, not in the actual creation of the craft.
It's a very artistic field.
Yep.
Did you have artistic influences that kind of influenced you in that direction?
I wouldn't say so much artistic influences, more cultural and agricultural influences. I think here in Hawaii, this is a place that I love, and I came here on a vacation, fell in love with what Maui was about from both the spiritual side as well as just a unique place to be, the way the people are, the ocean, the Aina, the lands here, they grow pineapple, they grow guava, papaya, apple bananas, poha berries, lavender, vanilla bean, all of these different products, and said, hey, part of craft beer is innovation, it's complexity, it's full flavored, it's being more different rather than less, more innovative, those types of things. So I said, let's see if we can take those ingredients that are raised here locally and put them into our beers to distinguish them from traditional old world styles of beer that are excellent in their own right, but we can twist them and really own them under the Maui name. Take our coconut, add it, hand-toasted coconut, add it to a porter style, which is a style dating back hundreds of years, and create this very unique beer that really twists people's minds about what beer is and what it can be. Then fell in love with it, and then identified a niche. There was no local Maui beer. At that point, there were a couple of local breweries that weren't even really local. So for me, I was like, hey, this is an opportunity.
Sure.
Being a capitalist, I was a very strong capitalist as an investment consultant, and I saw a product that I could make, and I said, let's do this. And we created Maui Brewing Company. Within a few months, we were on our way here and starting Maui Brewing Company. That was six years ago.